back to you farmers again. We are back, and today I want us to talk about management of tomatoes. And in this, we are going to talk about a stage of management in tomatoes that we call staking, whereby now staking is a process of manipulating a plant in order to grow in a given direction. In this case, we are training the tomatoes to grow upwards, to avoid many things that may affect the growth of tomatoes. Whereby now, in order to produce clean fruits, healthy fruits, and fruits that are of good quality, we train the tomatoes to grow in upward direction. Whereby now we use sticks, strong sticks, in training tomatoes. Whereby now we insert this. Remember, this stick is sharp on one end. It is very sharp. So in this case, we insert the stick into the soil firmly. We insert the stick. Now, when inserting this stick, we insert next to the tomato. This is my tomato plant. We insert next to the tomato, but some few centimeters away from the roots zone to avoid cutting of the roots. So in this case, we insert firmly the stick, and then we use threads. These are strong threads. These are threads. So after you have done your stick, after the stick is firmly inserted in the soil, what we do next, we hold this plant. We hold this plant like this, and tie next here, and tie on the strong stick, so that now this plant can grow upwards, can grow towards light, can grow towards the direction that you desire as a farmer. So in this case, look at these branches. They are falling into they are falling down into on the soil surface. So in this case, when these fruits are big, they touch the soil because they are heavier than the plant, they are heavy to be carried by this branch. So in this case, what we do, we hold them with a string and tie next to this we tie on the strong stick. So in this case, why do we do that? We do this to avoid the fruits from being dirtified by the soil. So in this case, this type of management helps the farmer to acquire very clean fruits, very fruits of good quality. Goes in this case, at the end of the day, or at the end of the season, when you are harvesting your tomatoes, they will be clean. So that now when you are taking to the consumers, the consumer will meet or will buy your tomatoes at the price that you give them, because in this case they are clean. So to make your fruits clean, we do staking, so that now we can produce clean fruits. You can see we have done our staking. So these are tomatoes after staking. So if you look at these tomatoes, they are clean. You can see how the rows are arranged. So in this case, when the tomatoes are well staked, you can easily move across. You can easily do farm operations. You can easily inspect. You can easily weed. You can easily remove, and you can also easily remove the leaves that are not required in the plants. You can easily harvest. You can easily pick the fruits. So in this case, this is the importance of staking. Staking helps the farmer to do other farm operations, to move across the farm, to move along the lines, to move along the rows, and all that. So another thing, during inspection, when you are inspecting for pests and diseases, when you are inspecting whether the plant is infected by a pest or it has disease, it is easier when the tomatoes are well staked as compared to when they are left just down there. So in this case, at first we said that staking helps in production of clean fruits. Now, in addition to that, you can see staking also helps the farmer to do other farm operations like weeding. In this case, you can easily pass when you are watering. you can easily weed, you can easily remove the excess, the extra materials that are required. So in this case, staking is very important. Now compare these tomatoes that are well staked. Compare these tomatoes and these tomatoes that I'm going to show you. These are the tomatoes that I was saying. These tomatoes are not staked. They are just left. Lying down. So in this case, when you want to do farm operations, when you want to pick fruits, you cannot. It is not easy for you to pick fruits. Another thing, if you want to do farm operations, like for example weed, how would you weed these tomatoes? Because in this case they are just left down there. So if you want to do some spraying, if you want to do some inspection, you cannot see the pest when the tomatoes are left down there. So in this case, staking helps in doing all those farm operations. If you want to spray, for example, some plants, because they are lying on each other, some leaves may not be reached by the spray, because in this case they are lying over each other. But when they are well staked, the tomatoes are well open. They are open. The bush is open. Like for example, if you look at this one, it is not open. It is bushy, very bushy. So in this case, the spray may not be able to penetrate across when you are moving. Now, during movement, how do you move in these tomatoes? So in this case, you will find that you are stepping on some tomatoes. You may step on the fruits. You may also break the tomatoes. Remember, the tomato plant is a very weak plant. So in this case, if you slightly step on this plant, they will easily break. So to reduce that, or to avoid breaking the tomatoes, it is good for you to do what we call staking. So staking is very important in this case.